Hi crafty friends, Stacy here as always, and as you can see I'm wearing an old ratty t-shirt. It has some holes in the sleeves and it's got this seam already coming out, and today I'm going to be cutting it and tying it so that it's a lot more interesting and fashionable. So this t-shirt is pretty large for me. It's quite loose around the bottom and around the body, and as well on the sleeves. You can see here that the sleeve already has been coming off from its seam right there, so I'm just going to undo the rest of the seam. Okay, now that we have the seams taken out of the sleeves, we're left with the serged raw edge that the serger made whenever the t-shirt was made. And now we can start cutting on the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it from the seam down the sleeve like this, and we'll be cutting along this edge. The t-shirt that I chose to use is very, very, very thin. A regular t-shirt material would be much better than this. But I'm just going to start on the outside edge, about an inch in. Now we're going to make the pattern that is called a chain. What you do is you start at the bottom, you pick up the first piece, and you twist it to make a loop, and you pull the second piece through the loop and do the same thing. You do this all the way to the top of the sleeve by taking each piece through the loop and twisting it and pulling the next piece through the loop and twisting it. Before I make my final decision on if this is the pattern that I want to do on the sleeve, I'm going to pin this last piece that I did into the shirt. If I decide that this is for sure what I want to do on the sleeve, then I will cut this last piece and tie it instead of pinning it. With the pin in the shirt, I tried it on, and you can see how the pattern that I just did with the loops looks, and the chain going up the sleeve, and I think that I like that, so I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. Now that I have it tied into a little slit that I made right above the shoulder seam there, I'm just going to cut off the ends. Make sure it's pretty tight. And there we have one sleeve done. So easy. Now I'm going to go to the other sleeve and do the same thing. Now we're going to do this sleeve the same way as the other. Grab that bottom one in the center-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can always move these around after you have done this. Okay, now we have 2 sleeves done. Okay guys, now we have the sleeves done, both sleeves with the chain. That's what this is called. It's kind of like a crochet chain. One loops into the next, which loops into the next, and so on and so forth, and then you tie it off at the top. Now that we have the sleeves done, we're going to move to a bigger project, which is the back. Okay, so for the back of the shirt, since we're doing an upside down triangle, it's going to be symmetrical from the center seam down the back. What we need to do is fold it on that center seam and iron it so that it is easily cut. Here we have the center seam of the back of the shirt. So this is the side of the shirt, the other side is underneath, and then this is right down the back. I'm going to cut my slits on the back from the neck, which will be the longest, down to the bottom. Okay, so here is the back of the shirt, and I've just put a piece of brown fleece material on the inside of it so that you can see the back of the shirt really well. And our next pattern that we're going to do is going to start at the top this time. Make sure these pieces are really stretched out nice. And we're going to pull this top piece down and flip it with the second. And then the second piece, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull it down, we're going to flip it with the third. Pull it down, flip it with the fourth. Down, flip it with the fifth. There you can kind of see the pattern that we're going to do. We're just going to keep going with this. Now we're going to pin it just like we did with the sleeve. And make sure that this is the pattern that we really want before we cut anything. At the very top you can cut off the band of the t-shirt if you'd like, and then that way you have even more so of like a ripped look. So I do like this, but I think I'm gonna just kind of play around with it and see if I want to do even more. And like I said, you get to the second to last one. You're going to cut it. And then you're going to tie it off to that last little hole there. I think I will cut this collar part off. Okay, so now we have finished the whole t-shirt. You're seeing the sleeves now with the sides. And what a fun way to jazz up an old shirt that you probably would have just thrown in the trash because it was just really loose and holey and you were never going to wear it anywhere ever. So let me show you the back. Ta-da! Here we have the back of the shirt. Now keep in mind you can still move these tied in except at the very, very bottom. And of course you can wear it without a tank top so that way you're showing a little bit more skin. But yes, you can move these in towards the center, make it look a little bit more like a chain look, or you can keep them to the outside like I have mine. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video on another very easy project that you can do mostly with stuff that you probably would have in your closet and in your house. So very easy little thing to do just to jazz up your shirt and make it a little bit more fashionable from the really loose, big, holey t-shirt that you had before. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my videos where it's mostly all crafty stuff, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks!